In this video, you're going to learn how to complete a unit in MOER or MOER. When you've completed the orientation exercises, you're going to want to start on your first unit of math. So, go back to your main course page, and your course may be different than this one, but they're all set up the same, and scroll down to course content. Okay. So when you open course content, again, this is where you're going to spend a majority of your time. This is where all of your work and assignments are located. Okay. First, you'll see course materials and resources. You won't need to access this too much, and this folder is a little bit different depending on your course. But you'll have media lesson packets in here, which you'll need if you didn't purchase the book. They're also located in the unit folders, though. And one thing you may want to know or remember is the answer keys for the U-Try problems are located in course materials and resources. These are problems that you do along with the media lesson after the videos or examples, so you can check your work and make sure you're understanding. Okay. So let's go back to course content. So I'm going to click on this breadcrumb, and let's look at Unit 1. So we're going to complete the assignments in this folder from top to bottom. So basically start at the top and you're going to work your way down. Okay. This may seem a lot at first, but by the end of 1 or 2 units, you'll be able to do this in your sleep. If you need more information or if you forget anything, each unit has this link on top that tells you step by step how to complete the unit that you can reference. So first you should read through the learning objectives because this is what you're going to learn, and you should also refer back to these when you're done with the unit to make sure that you've learned all of these objectives, and if you haven't, you may want to refer back to the section. Okay. Next, you'll see the media lesson packet. If you bought the book, this is in the book and you don't need to print it. Okay. But if you did not, you should click on it and you should print this. So you really want to have this printed, okay, and not just read through it on the computer, so you can keep this as a resource as it's basically like your course notes from a classroom. Okay, so you'll read through, and then every once in a while there are worked examples, media examples, and U-Tries. So worked examples, all of the problems are worked out on the paper. And then we have media examples. These are the ones that have videos, and you're going to watch the video and fill everything in as you go. Okay. Then you'll see a U-Try problem where you'll practice the same type of problem. Okay. This might be after a worked example as well. And you complete the problem and then check your answers with the U-Try problems. Okay. So let's go back. So after you have the media lesson packet printed or you have your book, you want to do the media lesson videos. Now right now I have this in student view because I wanted you to see something. So you go to do the Unit 1 media lesson videos and it's not letting you click on it. Notice below it says prerequisite 100% on orientation assignment. And I also have this listed right here in blue. Okay, so this means this is an opening because I didn't do the orientation assignment. Okay, but now I'm going to open all of them. Notice here you have to get 100% on the media lesson before the homework opens, and you have to get 95% on the homework before the quiz will open. Okay, so if one of these looks like this, there's 2 reasons why it won't open. You either haven't met the prerequisite or check the due date. You may be past the due date and then you may need to use a late pass. So let's just glance at the media lesson videos. So you have your pencils, you have your calculator, you're all ready to go. And whenever you come across, this may look familiar, media lesson problem, okay, you're going to watch the video and write everything neatly in your workbook. Okay, all you need to do in this media lesson assignment to get credit for it is click that you watched the video and hit submit. Okay, then you'll see a green check here, and once you have green checks on all of these, the homework assignment will open. Okay, the media lessons aren't worth part of your grade, okay, because you could just check all of these boxes. Okay, I have these boxes here to help you keep track of where you are. So if you did a few of them, you could come back later. You don't want to skip around on the media lessons, but notice to get to the next problem, sometimes people wait for it just to show up after they click enter. You have to click on the question number. So you watch all the videos, you write everything down, you click all the boxes. Okay. Now it's time to practice, and you're going to go to the homework. So this homework assignment has 29 questions. Some of the classes have them worth 100 or 200 points. The points are relative to a percentage, so it doesn't really matter what the points are worth. Let's look at a shorter problem. You can do these in any order you want. Okay, so here is a homework problem. You're asked to write this. Oh, I don't like that problem. Let's skip it. Sorry, I want to find a nice short one. Okay, you're asked to round these numbers. Okay, so maybe you remember from the media lesson how to do it. You can look at your media lesson notes. If you've forgotten, every problem, homework problem, has a worked out example for your reference. Okay, and step-by-step instructions for completing the problem. Now, I'm going to round this incorrectly, 7, 10. And I'm not even going to complete the other ones. So notice it says, this is attempt 1 of 3. It tells you if you didn't answer everything, then you want to go back and fill in anything you missed. And notice that I have all of them wrong. Okay, now I'm on attempt 2 of 3. I'm going to get this question, the first one, right. Okay, so when you get one correct, it gives you a green check. The other ones are incorrect, and notice it has red X's. Now suppose you get it wrong 3 times. At that point, on the left-hand side, you'll see this mucus green color check. I don't even know what that is. How many points you have in total. Okay, but all is not lost. It also gives you all of the answers, so you can check your work and maybe figure out what went wrong. Okay, and for the homework, you just click try another similar question, and it's like a brand new day. You don't lose your points, but now let's do these really quickly. But you can gain more points. And I did these quickly, but I think I got them. Now I hit submit. They're all correct, and now we have 4 out of 4. Okay, when you have a green check, it means all of them are correct. Okay, and you can move on to another problem. So you can click try a similar question as many times as you want. So that's why I require that you get 95% or higher on the homework. You should really shoot for 100 because you want to practice and learn all of these and not skip anything. If you get stuck, you look at the written example, you look at your notes, you look at the videos, you still don't understand why something's wrong. Okay, you also want to look at the answer because that could give you some clue as to what you did wrong. You can click on message my instructor and say I need help with part blah blah blah, and then I could look directly at the problem you're working on. So this is and you should select me. This is the best way to send me questions because you don't have to say on this problem, the problem goes directly to me, and all of the problems have different numbers, so I could see the numbers you're working on. Okay, let's go back to the homework. Okay, so that's the homework problem. You get 3 attempts, then you can try them over as many times as you need to get full credit, and you have written examples, you have videos from the media lesson packets, and you can message me if you need help. Okay, so now once you have 95% on that, you are going to take the first quiz. Okay, again, that you can't access this until you get 95% on your homework, and I will let you see your first quiz. I actually changed these time limits. No, for some classes they're 45 minutes, some classes are 60 minutes. Once you start, the clock keeps running. So if you leave the assessment, the quiz, and say I'll work on this more later, it's going to time out on you. So make sure you're ready when you click that you're going to start this. Okay. They are usually 8 to 10 questions. Okay. You don't have any of the help links. You do have message instructor about this question. I will not help you on a quiz question until after you've completed the quiz. Okay. You can use your notes. You can use your calculator. I just won't help you in the middle of the quiz. So this is a summative assessment. I'm trying to see what you've learned. Okay. Instead of 3 attempts, you just have 2. Okay. And you can't use try a similar problem. Okay. So this is to see what you've learned. Okay. You're required to get 70% on the quizzes in order to move on to the next unit. So if you do, most students, most of the time, get 70% or more easily. Okay. But if you don't, you should contact me and I'll give you some review assignments, okay, to go over the problems you missed, and then you can reattempt the quiz. Okay. So after you're done with that unit, you will see that the next unit looks identical. Okay. And the next unit's media lesson videos won't open unless you earn 70 on the previous unit's quiz. Okay. So I hope this helps. This is a lot. Make sure to look at the reference document at the beginning of the unit. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. You could just keep that open, and then as you go through, you could check to make sure that you're not missing anything. I've had students who didn't know that they could try a similar problem for the entire semester. You know, they just managed to do it well enough and then didn't know what to do when they got less than 95. Okay, so make sure you check these so you know all of the advantages and resources you have. I hope this was helpful, and you can always access this lesson or this video later if you need a reminder on how to complete a unit.